And here we are, folks. Happy opening day for the New York Knicks and the rest of the NBA as a whole. All the teams get a chance within the next day or two to show what they got and come in the clutch and see what happens, paying all those millions to all those guys. We're going to see what happens. And on today's episode, we've already covered the Celtics, but this time around we're going to cover the Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. And alas, for the first time that I see in covering this, we have the Knicks ahead in their head-to-head matchup against an opponent. The Pacers have been a franchise in the NBA since 76 and 77, the Knicks 1946-47. So we have 30 years ahead of them, 94 and 90. So we are ahead in the 184 games that we've played against them. 41 playoff games, but they own the playoff record. Of course, the Knicks have not gone to the playoffs, as you could see, since 2013, and then 2000 and then last season. But we did not play the Pacers. But we last played them in the conference semis in 2013, then all the way in the 90s, 2000, and then the 90s is the last time that we played against them. So if we see them in the finals, or rather in the playoffs, then we'll say what's up to them and try to beat their record. We need to win 3 games to tie and 4 to win. So if we sweep the series, then we'll be great. But we'll go from there. I want to take a look at the games that we played against them last season. 3 games, shortened season, of course. 1 game in December, 1 game in January, 1 game in February, 2 away and 1 home. So we were 2-1 against them last season. Undefeated against them at home, 1-1 against them on their home court. So we split that, which I thought was pretty nice. I think this time around we see them 4 times, all of which will be in the first half of the season. So let's go from there. Look at the games. The first game that they played, December 23rd, we lost that game. Again, third quarter woes for the Knicks, 16 points in the third after scoring 33-33. But Indiana scored 35. We let them go in the third, and then we eventually let them go in the fourth. And they just went crazy. So let's see what the problem was. RJ and Alec Burks were the only people that scored pretty decent for us. Julius had 17. Everyone else kind of... This was before, I think we had... it was Austin Rivers still on this team. Brazdeikis was on this team. And he was traded. Mitch played for 21 minutes, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 points, 6 rebounds, no assists. Randle had 17, 9, and 9, so he almost had a triple-double. I think I remember this game in January. We still were trying to find ourselves. We shot 45% from the field, 42% from 3, and 73%. Sabonis, Oladipo's gone, but Sabonis and Brogdon, Miles Turner, I don't know where Doug McDermott is, but they really put up 32, 22, 21, 3 people in 5 people in double figures. But quality performance, 48%, 23% from 3, so they did not shoot well. And we shot better from free throws, but they beat us. 121-107. Now we come back. And we are January 2nd. So New Year's, New Year, New Me. We're New Year's resolutioners. And our resolution is to not only score more points in the third, but then we're going to also beat the Pacers on their home floor after New Year's Day. So that's what we did. Second game, 32 points in the third. We beat them in the second, we beat them in the third, but we let them have 31 points, and then we beat them in the fourth. And we just lost by 2 points in the first. So keep in mind, a lot of times, there's a phrase, the game was lost in the first. You got to be careful with that stuff. RJ again. Interesting. RJ had 26 points. RJ had 25 points. If he shoots well in the next game, or if he scores well in the next game, that's a topic of conversation. Randle. slight topic of conversation as well. We'll get a double-double, potential triple-double, but he could come up in the clutch a bit more against this team. Austin Rivers, we're not worried because we don't care. We shot 50% from the field, 44 from three, 76, 77 from the from the free throw line. RJ at 25, 5 and 3. Alfred Payton helped out. Thanks, man. Good luck in Phoenix. Mitch had 16 and 9, almost had a double-double. Let's see what the Pacers did. 33 points from Malcolm Brogdon. Miles Turner got in. Sabonis kind of got there, but I think Randle kind of neutralized him a little bit. I remember this game too, January. Oladipo's gone. He's in Miami. He is the Dennis Schroeder of the East in this case. The Schroeder was in the West prior to this. We didn't have Burks Frank. Interesting. 33 points for Brogdon, 16 points for Oladipo, 17 for Turner, 13 for Sabonis, and Justin Holiday helped out. 4 or 5 for 12 points. Not bad. The third game. We could have done a little bit better, a little up and down. We kind of give them a chance to get by, but we did score great in the third, which is important, and the fourth, which is also important as well. But they have TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell is going to be really good. I think he has good play, and he cuts well to the basket. But here, TJ McConnell scored 17, Sabonis scored 15. McConnell had 12 assists too. Justin Holiday, Miles Turner. So they had help from everybody. What did that happen? With Randle, 28. Oh, so Randle's okay. RJ. Now we have a lock for a story. Will RJ continue his good performance against the Pacers? IQ had 10. D Rose had 17 and 11. That's really great. Who was our Iron Man? Noel and Julius were our Iron Men. D Rose had 37 minutes. What? This had to be like post All-Star break D Rose? No, this is pre All-Star break D Rose. He was ready to go. He was ready, and he was just traded too. Interesting. So that's the results of the games. Now I want to do is just quickly show the Pacers. They did not make the playoffs last season because the Knicks were better, of course. And before that, first round. Did not qualify. So they've been getting bounced in the first round ever since 2015, 2016. So I don't know if that's going to change. They got to get themselves out of the first round. Good luck for you guys, but it happens. 34 and 38 record last season. And then the season before that, they were in the 40s. Aside from 16, 17, where they weren't that great. 48 and 34 was good for fifth in the East. That's good to know because they're projecting the Knicks to be somewhere around there. 45 and 28 can roughly be fourth, fifth, somewhere along there, and then they just go not that good. I want to look at the games and where we were. So let us, December 23rd, January 2nd, and February 27th. Let's go here. We opened against them, lost, and then we had home games and then away games. January 2nd, we went on a 3-game win streak. 2 games away, 1 game home, and we were about 5 and 3, 4 and 3. We were slightly 500 above 500, but then after we played them, we won 2 games in a row, and then we lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. Oof! And then we went on 3 games. This team last season was block winners for the most part, so we gotta do our best to. If we go 5 games, we gotta at least win 1 or 2. We can't go 0-5 and then 3-0 and stuff like that. That's just because that just means you're an average team. That just means you're an average team and you get hot in some cases, in other cases you don't. And then February 23rd or something like that, right? Indiana 27. Oh, and then we went on another win streak, 3-game win streak. Now let's look at Indiana, where they were at this time. They won 3 in a row, so they had some hope. They actually went all the way up to 8 and 4. By the time they got to January, and they lost to us too. So they were doing pretty well. But then they got into Phoenix, Sacramento, they lost to the West Coast teams. They lost to 1 East Coast, 2 East Coast. Sorry for the background, guys. I'm just, there's a lot of noise going on. Then they lost. Interesting. And then February 27th, where were they? And they lost this game. Oh, they had a 4-game losing streak after winning 1 and then a 2-game losing streak again. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers away at Cleveland. They lost to Philly, but they scored 100 points, if you notice that. They can score. They can definitely score. This team can score. Now I want to take a look at their stats last season because we got to look at Brogdon, Levert, Domantas Sabonis. Those guys will be something. And Miles Turner, you know, he doesn't average a whole lot, but like 12 and 6, he might go to 14 and 6. But the thing is, they have Levert, Sabonis, and Brogdon. So I don't know how much scoring output is going to take away. And he's only playing 30 minutes a game. But I could see, you know, Brogdon, Levert, Sabonis, Turner, and then whatever they're and TJ McConnell, something like that. Man, that'll be interesting. That's a good lineup. It's probably a little bit better than last season. And last season, because if you think about it, how many games did they play? And they have multiple 20-point per game scorers. Now the thing is, you're going to have to find someone to close for this team because they don't technically have a star. They have an all-star, so Sabonis, but Sabonis is like he's fantastic. He almost averages a double-double. Thing is, they pass the ball too. 6, 5, and 7, 11, 18 assists per game, and they rebound pretty good too. Whew. This might be a little tough. This might be a tough performance against these teams. So we might lose a little bit of the rebounds with our guards, but we might also get a little bit better because I think we'll have options now. I think RJ is going to get to 19 points a game. I think D Rose, like these guys will probably stay about the same roughly, and Kemba will add the like 17, 16 points a game, and Evan could probably add the 15 points per game or something like that. So we will see what happens. Now I want to take a look at Indiana and just their like depth chart and stuff like that. And we're almost done, which is pretty cool. With the new head coach and Rick Carlisle at the helm, health is the key for the Pacers to find success in 21-22. After being eliminated from the NBA's inaugural play-in tournament in 2021, the Pacers enter the 2021 season with new head coach and high expectations. Carlisle took over a talented roster that faces one major roadblock, health. Take a look at their rotation is shaping up given the various injuries. They open up against Charlotte. So they have McConnell, Levert, Justin Holiday, Sabonis, and Turner. Okay, so I was mostly right in their backups. See, the thing is, though, so Duarte's coming up, but he may not. We may see him more at some point, maybe at the fourth game, at the beginning of the new year. But I think this is what their lineup will be. And they mentioned that they're hurt a lot. So Levert is dealing with a stretch fracture in his back that should only hold him up for 2 or 3 weeks. TJ Warren doesn't know when he'll get on court. Sumner underwent successful surgery. And these are who they added. After failing to make the playoffs for the first time in 6 years, remember, those are all seasons that they were bounced in the first round. The Pacers earned the number 13th overall pick in the 21 draft and selected Duarte. Chris Duarte, I heard, was like the Knicks were kind of looking at him as well at something like that. So, and they picked Isaiah Jackson, 22 overall, from the Los Angeles Lakers in a deal. They signed Torrey Craig, who's on the Bucks. Oh, that's right. Torrey Craig was the guy who, no matter what, he was going to win a championship ring because he was on both teams. Doug McDermott left. He's in San Antonio. They traded Aaron Holiday to the Wizards and Jakar Sampson. He's in Italy. The Pacers have a lot of wings. Complicating things are the injuries to the team enters the season with, which put questions surrounding the availability of Karis LeVert. Remember, Karis LeVert was the guy that got traded and they found a heart issue. So if he didn't get traded, he may not have found out that he had a heart issue. Interesting to know. Okay, now let's go. I want to look at their depth chart a little bit because this is who they're projecting. They have TJ Warren and Justin Holiday. Let's go to last season. See what they give us when it comes to stats. Brogdon last season, 21 points, 5 and 5. Interesting. Levert, I don't know how much he played, but it wasn't too much. 20 points, 4 and 4. Okay, so what I'm getting about this team, their Sabonis numbers 20, 12, and 6. Turner will give you 12 and 6 or something like that. And then TJ Warren is 15, but also Justin Holiday is okay. So they have people that can compensate, and their bench seems okay. They have Torrey Craig. Their bench seems okay, but to be honest with you, their benches at the guard and the forward position are probably what they're kind of looking to go with. But if it's not this starting five, to be honest with you, I don't really see what the hullabaloo is for this Pacers franchise. And I could potentially see them just under us. But the thing is, their starters are great. Their starters are fantastic. Now let's look at Chris Duarte a little bit. He's a 6'6" guard from the Dominican Republic, and he went to Oregon. Athletic, talented perimeter scorer who ranked among the most efficient offensive players in college. So he's going to want to take a conscious shot, a well shot. He averaged 12.9 points per game 2 years ago as a junior, and he played stretches. The 23-year-old showed up averaging 17 points, possessing solid size. Duarte is a very good athlete with toughness, spending time on and off the ball in a featured role with the Ducks. Duarte showed intriguing versatility as a perimeter shot maker. So he's going to shoot, creating his own shot effectively out of ball screens and one-on-one. Okay, so we're going to have to we got to get the ball out of him, out of his hands, and we have to, traps would be nice. We got to get into this guy's head. Because it says here, active defender, good instincts in passing lanes. He's going to make, he's going to pass, he's going to want to shoot as well, and he's going to be looking for quality shots. So someone like, who could guard him? I think he'll blow by people like D Rose, but he'll get outworked by D Rose because D Rose is a lot more savvier. He's more of a veteran. I want to see what the IQ and him matchup is. If he starts going off, I would love for just RJ to just shut him down because he's a shooter. Let's see defensively. Coming up on a lot of steals. Duarte was aggressive in the passing lane. He did a better job coming up with the deflections. Okay, so he's going to be active, man. He's going to be active, and he was drafted, 13th. So there's something wrong to where, or at least for the moment, right? Because Giannis was drafted 13th, and his shot is just a little, But aside from that, you almost couldn't stop the guy. So he's going to play at a high level. He's kind of a coach's dream is what it looks like. We're looking to we're looking to hit him with the rookie wall, rookie mistakes, trap him, double team him so he can force the ball, get him out of his good decision-making skills into his bad decision-making skills. Now, I wanted to look up Knicks versus Pacers next season. November 3rd, away. November 15th, home. December 8th, away, and January 4th. So we don't see these guys after the All-Star break. After February, we don't see them. So the next time we see them after the New Year after January is done, is possibly the playoffs. The Indiana Pacers so far have shown to get bounced in the first round the last 5 seasons, and then nothing the season before this. So let's see what happens. Because remember, the Knicks also haven't been to the playoffs, and they went last season. So a bunch of years the Knicks don't go, and they do go, and vice versa for the Pacers. Let's see where we stand, where we will be in November 3rd. We'll be away at Indiana. On the 5th, we have Milwaukee right after, home and then away. And then on the 15th, we do a 3-game home stretch, Indiana, Orlando, Houston. That would be nice if we can beat all these 3 teams, because we'll be at Charlotte on the 12th. That'd be nice if we can get a win after this potential like Philly loss and Bucks loss. It would be cool if we can get a Charlotte win on the road and then beat these two, and then a West Coast team in Houston before we have to go to Chicago and then have LA and Phoenix and then Atlanta and then Brooklyn and Chicago and then Denver and then San Antonio. So we got to be careful with these guys. We got to win this November 12th to the 20th matchup. Has to happen. December 8th will be away for 3 games. I think these could all be winnable. Because these two, yeah, we got to win these 2 games. The Spurs, Pacers, Raptors. And then January 4th, let's take a look. Pacers, home, away. All right, let's take a look at the Pacers, see what they got. November 3rd. They are a 3-game homestand. Raptors, they could probably win that game. They could probably win the San Antonio game. They could probably lose this one. But they will be home. Whereas for the Knicks, November 3rd, versus Toronto and then at Milwaukee. Who are the... Let me look at all things and then I'll kind of like decide. So November 3rd, November 15th. Versus Philly, they're home. Oh man. 4-game home away stretch, 1 game home, 3 games away. They could probably lose to Portland, lose to win against Sacramento, lose to Denver, lose to Utah, maybe win against Utah, whatever. Philly, they can. Who knows what's going to happen with Philly? Then they're away. They're hoping to get this Pistons game for sure. Can we capitalize on them being like? Because I'm curious about their health too. December 8th, they have a huge stretch. Atlanta, they could probably lose all these games. I can see us winning this game, the 3rd game. And then January 4th, imagine if they lose 2 in a row to these. Because they'll still be in the same, they'll be on the East Coast, but they'll just be over the bridge. I can see us going 2-2 against them, 3-1. My biggest fear is this 2nd game. So we have November 3rd, right? I could still see them, depending on when they have their people back. We could win this 1st game. We could probably lose this, although we shouldn't. We could win this 2nd game. This 3rd game, I think, will be fairly good. Let me see for the Knicks, the 3rd game, December 8th. At Indiana, at San Antonio. Do they play like right after the other person? At Indiana, at Toronto. This is for the Knicks at San Antonio. I could probably see us maybe losing this game, the December 8th game, potentially. And then January 4th, we could probably win this game. So I'd say if I had to guess 3-1, RJ will probably put up 20. I think the Pacers might out-assist us, but I think 2-2, 3-1 against the Pacers is what I think. So that's my review. Or I just want to put up this so this way we see going into, where are we? Sorry about that, folks. So this way we see, I would say 3-1. We could have the potential to lose that December game, that November 15th game we could possibly lose. And if that was the case, then we'd go 2-2 against them. We'd split the series. But I would say if I had to guess 2-2 just to be on the safe side, because they have 3 bona fide 20-point per game scorers. And I don't know, technically, I mean, the Knicks have 4 or 5, 6 20-point per game scorers that can score 20 points, rather, sorry. Burks can score 20 points. RJ, Julius, Derek, Kemba, Evan. All those guys have the ability to get 20 points in a game at some point. Not per game, but in a game. Because you have to remember, most of the offense is going to be run through Julius, Kemba, and Evan, I guess, for the most part. And then everyone else will be adjusting to that. And RJ is our draft pick, so he is our guy as well. So I'm going to say 2-2 against the Pacers. And I think 2-2 because you never know. And this team has scorers, but they don't really. I think our bench is better than theirs. So who knows what's going to happen? We also have issues scoring against them in the 3rd. Overall, even though we scored well in the second game, and the third game, but like we let some of those games slide, and we let them kind of, yeah, see, this first game we let them kind of get back. The second game, we gave them an opportunity to get back in the third. That's, I think, a story, having them come back, because we lost these games and they were so close, you know? So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I appreciate your time.